Hello everyone, this is Robin Carter and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Flower Mound, Texas, and today I'm here to share my fourth and final alternative using the February 2024 paper pumpkin kit named Sweet Springtime. So if you are a subscriber to my channel, thank you much for joining me and subscribing. If you are new or maybe you've watched a few and have yet to subscribe, I would really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button below. So before we begin, let me take care of a little business. So going on now is the subscription period for the March paper pumpkin kit named Memorable Meadows. So March is a special time to subscribe as it is the anniversary month of when Paper Pumpkin first started, and we're going to receive an extra stamp set with this kit. You can see it right here. They were nice to give us a nice preview. So the deadline to subscribe to it is March 10th, so don't miss this kit. It also is going to coordinate with the Meandering Meadows Sweet Collection. Now, I did an online class with this collection not long ago, so if you're interested in seeing that, click on my YouTube channel and then go to videos and it'll list them all in date order. So don't miss out on that kit. You can also still get, last I looked, the add-on dies for this quarter. Now, just because it says it's for this quarter, I can see that this label and probably this leaf and stuff you can use over and over again. And as you'll see today, there was a past add-on die that I brought in with these alternatives. So don't miss out on those, even though it is just the last month. I do have a new host code, so if throughout this video you see something that you would like to add to your collection, I would appreciate your support if you do not have a demonstrator by using this host code. Any order of $75 or more of merchandise, you will receive a special gift from me. I close the host code at the end of the month, and then I'm able to order my gifts, and you should get those in mid next month. Also, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber of mine, you will receive, let me get one out here. Well, here's this month. A special little sleeve to store your stamp sets in. Now, this they provide in your kit now, but I still want to make my covers that are a little bit larger, easier to read. So you will receive one of these in the mail. Also, you will receive a 1-inch square of coordinating cardstock. This just happens to be my Misty Moonlight I reached for because I recommend you store your ink spots upside down. So this little 1-inch square of coordinating cardstock helps you see what color that is. So if you have ordered product, you will receive your sleeve, same thing as your special gift from me. So let's see what else I have here to share. So don't forget the mini catalog is still going on. It goes through April. Now the 1st of April they will announce probably the discontinued items, and then they're only available while supplies last. So don't miss anything in here that you may have on your list. All right, let's get started. Now I'm going to put my instructions away in this envelope, and this envelope is what I call my special, or not my special, my favorite things. So if you're new to my channel, let me just explain. My favorite things are things that Stampin' Up! Does not supply that I find helpful in storing my paper craft goods. So I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do have links to where you can get all of these products. They are safe links from Amazon. And when you use those links to purchase these items, I get a few pennies back at no cost to you for recommending these products. So if you have or plan on using those links, thank you so much. They are great for storing all your paper pumpkin goods. As you can see, it holds the instructions. I also use them to store pre-cut and scored card bases. They all hold memories and more pretty well. So I just like to share that with you in case you're looking for some organization ideas. So let's get started. So I haven't used the bunny envelope today, and so that's what we're going to use. I have already cut up this bunny, and I'll show you what I cut. So you can kind of see a visual of what I cut. So I cut this bunny piece to 4 inches by 4 inches. So I first cut off the bottom part here, and then I cut this off of the side because this side already, the flowers were going off. So I cut off this blank piece here to end up with a 4 by 4. Now you can save this part and use it for labels or whatever you would like. So I'm just going to stick it back in my envelope here. So this is a 5 by 7 one, and I find it very helpful in storing my cards once I'm finished and everything else. So, oh, you will cut this in half. I've already cut that in half because the other side of this card, the back side, is this gingham piece. So we're going to use it in our second alternative that I share. So cut that off first and then cut your bunnies to 4 by 4. Okay, for this card we're going to need a blank white card base. And I use the thick white for my card bases. So let me burnish that down where it's a little more flat. And then I'm going to use a berry burst layer. And I thought this really helps bring out the little flowers there. This is a pretty simple card, so not a lot to it. So let me get started. Now all I did was I thought this would look very nice here. And so the berry burst piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'm going to stick it there. But I wanted to put something across there first. So let's adhere this down. So you'll have 3 of these that you can do, and I'll show you my other ones when we're done with this. I really like the berry burst with this. It gives it a nice bright spring color. Okay, give that just a second to dry. So then I wanted to bring in some ribbon. Now, last I checked, this ribbon is also still available on the clearance rack. So it is the white frayed edge ribbon, something like that. So I have some of this I need to use. So I thought, you know what, that'll be good enough. And it leaves me a little room here for a sentiment. So when I have ribbon, I just wanted to put it on the front. I don't wrap it all the way around. I just cut a little piece that's big enough to hang off the back. And then I get some adhesive. Now, it's best to use a tear and tape or I don't know what that is, tape runner, the strong one, to hold your ribbon down in place. So I just kind of see where that's going to go. And we have received some tear and tape lately, a lot in our paper pumpkin kit. So maybe you still have a good supply of that. All right, let me tear off the backing. Okay, and then we're just going to set this piece on top. I want the grass to show, and then kind of center that so you have enough to wrap around. Just wrap it around and press it down on the back with the tear and tape. Okay, so that is our card. Pretty simple, but it is. I try to use all the supplies in the kit so that you don't have any left over, and then you'll be ready for the next month's kit. All right, so let's adhere this to our thick white base. Let me check to make sure I have the biggest part on top, which I do. When you make your own, you may have a little hangover, so you want that to be the front of your card. All right, and then let's just center it. That's why I like the multi-purpose glue. It gives me a little time to get things centered, at least to my eye. That ribbon needed to come down just a hair. Okay, now you can put any greeting you want here. It can be Happy Easter. It can be, what's this one called? Springtime Greetings. Now I have a second niece and nephew, and their birthdays are in the spring. So I made these into birthday cards. This is for my second niece. And then I thought to make it a little more like a boy, I would just use crumb cake here, kind of to match the bunnies. So I thought those would be great, cute birthday cards for them. So that's what I turned these two into. Now this one, you can see I did use this to cut out my label, the leftover piece that we cut off. Since it was kind of pink, I didn't do that for this one. I actually used the back of the envelope, which has a color to it. Let me show you. Because in my prior videos, we have cut open the envelopes. So the bottom flap that's just white on the back has this color here. I think it looks close to a gray granite. So I thought I would use that to make that label. If you're interested in where that label comes from, it comes from the Something Fancy dies. And here they are right here. It's this one right here. And this is a nice set of dies. And just in case you're new to my channel, I generally have a bigger magnet piece here, but these were simple, so I cut it. And I write how many dies are in this set. That way, I know when I go to put them away to count and make sure I have each die there. All right, so that's a very simple alternative for this card. So let me find my little envelope and let's put it all away. You can add embellishments to this. I haven't done that yet. I probably will. Every card needs a little bling. I think that helps them be a little fancier. All right, and now on to our second alternative. So like I said, we're going to use that piece, that back piece. That's the gingham. Now the envelopes are also this way. I have created other alternatives using this pattern. So you can pick and choose which one you like. So you're going to need that. You're going to need to bring in your scalloped contour dies. And then an embossing folder. Now I just chose to use the Stripes and Splatter 3D embossing folders. It's a set of 2. These were available as a celebration item, so maybe you grab those up. I thought I would bring those in. Okay, a thick white card base, some petal pink cardstock, and then another petal pink piece, which I'll get to later. So, and then a scalloped piece. So this is a pattern I have used with the last couple of kits. And as they say, I didn't want to recreate the wheel, and this pattern works, and I thought I'd see how it worked on this kit. So I am here to share that with you again today. So again, I'm going to burnish my fold in my card. Check that that's the front. And then I have this petal pink piece, which is again 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I just prefer to have a little bit of white showing. It looks like another layer on my cards. So that's why I go with this piece. So let's adhere that down to our thick card base. Okay, and you may recognize this pattern if you've seen my cards before. It's a little different, but pretty much the same layout. So that's something I like to share. You know, when you see a layout that you like, see how you can incorporate it maybe into other supplies that you have. It's kind of fun that way. Okay, now we have this piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 from our kit. So I'm going to get out my trimmer here. And I believe we're going to be able to get 3 cards out of one of the card bases. So it'll kind of depend on your layer that we're going to do next, and I'll explain that as we get there. So we're going to cut this at 1 5/8. So that'd be the half and then the 1/8. Okay. I think, let me make sure it's not 3/8. Hold on. So let me do my math. So on the back of my Stampin' Scrub, I have exactly what 3/8 equals in inches. So I can get out my calculator and just give you a little peek into how I create these. So I know I have 4.25. All right, and if I take away 1.37, whoops, 4.25. If I take away 1.375 twice, I'm left with 1.5. So I'm glad I double checked that because it is 3/8, not 5/8. So that's just a little peek of how I get the most out of my card stock. So here's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. I thought that looked like a little much when I went to cut it. And 1, 2, 3. And left with about 1.5. Now, if your next layer is going to leave more white space, you'll need to adjust your cuts, and you may only get 2. But now we can put our trimmer. Oh, no, we can't. I'm going to have to cut this down again. All right, so let me explain the next layer. So I took a 3 1/4 piece of white cardstock, and then I used an edge die. Now this one I did use the scallop here on the scalloped contour. I tried some other ones and it just felt a little busy with this gingham pattern, so I left it at that and then just cut the edge off. Then I brought in a piece of petal pink again that I had embossed with this stripes and splatter. Any embossing folder would be good. I just love the look and texture that it gives to a card to add some embossing to. So this layer here, for me, it worked out to be 4 1/4 by, I believe it's 5 1/4. Okay, so that's how tall we want to do our strips here, to 5 1/4. So let me get my cutter straight and cut this height down to 5 1/4. Okay. So we're just going to make one today. You can save these others for your next set if you choose to make this card. So here is our card with our petal pink. So we're going to put this right here. Oh, I did the one I didn't cut. Right here along this side, you can see it has a little mat of petal pink since we cut it to 5 1/4. All right, so just a little piece here. Okay. But if you use a different die that cuts off more, or you cut it a little more off than just the edge, you'll want to make sure, obviously, before you lay it down, that that's going to go, that it won't cut off early, right? That it's going to cover underneath the whole edge here. So that's where I say you may need to cut yours a little different. So be sure and check that out before you lay yours down. So I have this piece here that I'm going to put here, but I like to add some ribbon here. So I'm going to show you my different ones and what I've used. But for this one, I'm going to bring in this beautiful ribbon that's called Misty Moonlight. Well, Inner Braid Ribbon is what it's called here. So again, when I put ribbon down, I like to use tear and tape. So let me find my tear and tape again that I just used. Or grab another strip in case you set it aside. Oh, there it is. Okay, I just like to put this down, that way it lays flat and it's not going to move. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat because it's hard to see white on white there. So that's going to give me a little different view. Now this, it's hard to talk and do this, so let me get that down. Okay, and then I should have just started at the edge, but I did not, but I'll just trim it off. Or I can leave it there and flip it over, it doesn't matter. So let's take off the backing of this. I'm going to go ahead and flip that over. See how wide of a piece I need. Get some sharp scissors and just cut a little piece. So that's about, it's about 6.5 inches, something like that. All right, and then I'm going to put it right here along the bottom, but still want to show the stitching that's on that. So flip that over, and I need some tear and tape on this side. To hold it down. Okay, and now we can put on our petal pink piece. So again, if you choose a wider ribbon or a narrower ribbon, then you may want to adjust the size of this petal pink piece. So I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue here. And we'll set it here. So there is our layer that we're going to use on the card. Now, to use some of the products for this kit, by the way, this last set of alternatives, if you missed out on the February full kit, the refills are still available. So if you had just the refill and the add-on dies, you can follow these instructions and make some pretty springtime cards yourself. All right, so let me show you. Let me get out in here. I should have. They may have got between cards. Here was another border. Those are the elegant border dies that may work nice. You put that against this. But again, I like the simplicity of the scallop with this gingham part here. Okay, and then I also brought in, this is where I said I brought in previous dies. This was from the Welcome In stamp set and add-on dies that they had. And I've stamped a vase. And those are from, I believe it was like June of last year, 2023. Here's the stamp set. So I stored those dies in here as well to have. Maybe you don't have the dies, but if you still have that kit, you can trace the vase negative from the die cuts they gave us. So this kit, by the way, is still available in the online store. I think you do have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to purchase it because it is a pass kit, and all of the add-on dies and such are only available to Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So just wanted to point that out. Anyway, I did stamp this using that stamp in Misty Moonlight to match the ribbon. Okay, let me set this stuff aside. Clear out our space a little bit. All right, and then I went and I die cut the daffodils. I have a bunch of extra vases here in case I messed up, but I stamped it well. Okay, so I've showed how I did this before, but I thought I would show it again. So I went and cut a daffodil out of Granny Apple Green cardstock, and then I cut just the petal in Daffodil Delight. So when I do that, I'm going to have a little stem here. So you just want to cut that off. And then I've already put some glue dots back behind this flower piece. Get those off. I have good fingernails. Now, if you don't have good fingernails, the Take Your Pick tool is the next best thing. All right, and then we're going to adhere this right on top. So, and also just to point out, if you accidentally don't cut off the whole petal in green, don't worry about it. Just have enough so you can line it up on your flower. So that's how I did these. For your time, I went ahead and did 3. Okay, so I'm going to put these on here, but again, I'm going to use some tear and tape so they'll stick well. I may have to do a couple different layers of it. Got that one a little long. We'll just fold it back after I tear it off. Okay, so I just want to kind of line up my flowers where I want them. I'm going to do one in the center. I'm going to do this one where you can still see most of its leaves to make it look a little full. Well, maybe if it'll stick. I didn't get him quite on the tearing tape. Well, goodness, I am all thumbs, aren't I? Okay, and then this third one. Let's see if there's enough tape. That one's still having trouble. So we're going to put him down there, and we're going to put another piece of tearing tape over those so they don't come off. This one you always have to find the beginning of this stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to put that over them so the flowers don't fall off. And now we can adhere this to our card base, or actually our layer, not our card base yet. All right. You know what? I'm going to put a few little dots of glue on the petals, but I'm trying not to put it where the etching is because the glue could ooze through. All right, so this is our layer. I'm just going to center it on there. You could add more greenery if you wanted to, using the leaf add-on dies or maybe the bow punch. All right, and so now we're going to put this on with dimensionals. So I do cut my large dimensionals in half, but I still use plenty around the card so it doesn't sink in. I'm going to need one more cut one. And then, of course, always use the edges too. Those are dimensionals as well. I don't know why. I just tend to use those last. I don't know why. Okay, so let's press those down. Make sure they're nice and stuck on the layer. One more. Okay, and then we're going to put this on the left-hand side. I do want the plain petal pink to show, and this just be another layer. All right, so there we have it. And then, again, you can use any sentiment you want to. I have some birthdays here done with that same label that I showed in my first card today. And then I have some thinking of you. So you can put whatever sentiment you want to. You can even do Happy Easter or springtime greetings that came in our kit. So I did just have another layer here in case I messed it up, but I didn't mess that up. Let me show you some other edge dies that I've used before I decided that this one was my favorite. So this is from the Dear Darling Detail dies. I like it, but again, I think it's just a little busy for this gingham piece here. This is from the Retired Eden dies. Those became a celebration item in last year, so I thought I would just show what that looks like in case you got those last year. They are retired now. And then before I showed the video, I made this one with a different ribbon. This is the Night of Navy bordered ribbon. And on this one that I did the Balmy Blue, I used the Balmy Blue double stitched ribbon, which all these ribbons are current in the online store. So I just thought I would show those different versions so you can pick, if you like the softer look, you can go with the Balmy Blue. And then this style again was my favorite. So it looks kind of blank without the sentiment on there, doesn't it? So let's see, all those are thinking of yous. I'll do this one as a birthday. And again, I'll probably go in and add some embellishments to this, some bling or pearls or something just to give it a little more detail. So this is my second alternative for today. Pretty quick cards. Of course, this is a little more detailed, which I did before I started. And then when you cut that one card base, you'll have two more that you can make three with. So what do you think of these? Do you like the scallop against this, or do you like a more detailed edge? Again, the best comment you can give to me is a kind comment. Give me a thumbs up. and share this with your crafting friends. So I'm going to put these away in my envelope so I don't lose them. I'll do it in this one since I already have some layers. So that is our alternative for today. So again, I think I've used all the supplies in the kit. This one I did switch out. I forgot to point that out. So this one I used the gingham on here and the solid piece here. So you can let me know which one you actually like better of that. So this is our first alternative. And of course my first one was the bunnies. So we've used that piece. Again, I did a girly one, more for a little boy. And then this one, which I haven't put a greeting on yet. So thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate if you would. I have set a hefty goal for myself to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you can be a part of helping me with that, thank you so much. And let me know in the comments if you do subscribe and about where you're from. That's always interesting to read. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this kit. Now, before I get my March kit, I do hope to do the Enduring Beauty bundle class. So be looking for that this coming week. And then my paper pumpkin unboxing may be a little late. I don't know. I'm going to the on-stage event for demonstrators this year. I'm excited that it's in Houston, so it's close enough for me to drive. This is going to be my first one to go to, so I'm looking forward to that. And so when I get back from that, hopefully my kit is here and I can do the unboxing for the March kit and then start thinking of my alternatives for it. So thanks for being a part of my community, and until my next video, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.